In a quiet village surrounded by green hills and singing birds, lived a curious little boy named Niko. He loved exploring the woods behind his house more than anything. Every day after school, he would pack a tiny bag with a notebook, some snacks, and his favorite pencil, then set off on his adventure. Niko wasn't afraid of getting dirty or lost. He believed the forest had secrets waiting to be discovered. One sunny afternoon, he wandered deeper than usual, past a stream he had never crossed before. As he walked carefully between tall ferns and twisting roots, he heard something strange, a soft voice whispering his name from a large tree nearby. Startled, Niko looked around. No one was there, just the wind brushing through the leaves. But then, the voice came again, clearer this time. "Niko," it said gently. He turned toward the sound and noticed a massive oak tree with glowing green moss on its bark. Its branches swayed slowly, even though there was no wind now. "Did you just talk to me?" Niko asked, taking a step closer. "Yes," the tree replied warmly. "Don't be afraid." Niko blinked in disbelief. A talking tree? He thought that only happened in storybooks. But something about the tree's voice made him feel calm, like talking to an old friend he hadn't seen in years. The tree told Niko its name was Luma, and it had lived in the forest for hundreds of years. Luma explained that not many people could hear her voice, only those who truly listened with their hearts. Niko sat at the base of Luma's trunk, and they talked for hours. Luma told stories of the animals she had sheltered, the storms she had weathered, and the stars she had watched every night. Niko listened, wide-eyed and amazed. He had never had a friend like Luma. It felt like he had found something magical, a friendship that crossed time, species, and even silence. Niko promised to return the next day, and Luma smiled through the rustling of her leaves. Day after day, Niko visited Luma. Sometimes he brought his drawings of the forest and read them aloud. Other times, he listened as Luma described the world from her point of view. How the rain felt on her leaves, how squirrels tickled her branches, and how butterflies whispered secrets while resting on her bark. Niko began to notice things he hadn't before. The rhythm of the forest, the way shadows danced in the late afternoon, the music of the wind. He started writing poems about their friendship, ones he'd never show anyone else. Luma wasn't just a tree. She was his best friend, his secret, his safe place. One morning, Niko arrived with sad eyes and a heavy heart. His family might have to move away for his dad's new job. "I don't want to go," Niko said, hugging Luma's trunk. "You're my best friend." Luma's leaves shimmered gently as she whispered, "Friendship doesn't end with distance, Niko. The love we share stays alive inside you. I will always be with you, in the wind, in the trees, and in every gentle moment you remember." Niko wiped his tears and sat quietly, listening to Luma's heartbeat deep in her roots. He promised he would never forget her, and she promised she'd always be listening, even from far away. The day of the move came, and Niko visited Luma one last time. He pressed his hand against her bark and closed his eyes. "Thank you for being my friend," he whispered. Luma's leaves rustled as if blowing him a kiss goodbye. Niko left behind a small drawing of the two of them under the stars, tucking it between her roots. The forest felt different as he walked away, like it knew he was leaving. But Niko also felt stronger, filled with the kind of peace only a true friend can give. He knew that no matter where he went, he would carry a piece of Luma with him. In his new city home, Niko found it hard to adjust. The buildings were tall and the streets were loud. There were no forests to explore, no quiet places to think. But at night, he would write letters to Luma in his notebook. describing the clouds, the people, and the sounds of the city. Sometimes he sat near a small tree in a nearby park, pretending it was Luma, and talked to it quietly. "You wouldn't believe how many cars are here," he would say. "But I still remember the way the forest smelled after rain." Though it wasn't the same, these little moments helped him feel close to her. Seasons passed. Niko grew taller, older, and braver. He started planting trees in his neighborhood with a group of kids from school. He named the first sapling Luma. Whenever he watered it, he told it stories, just like he used to do back in the forest. His friends didn't know the full reason behind the name, but they noticed that Niko always smiled a little wider when he visited that tree. Slowly, his new home began to feel more like a part of him, because he was bringing the forest with him in every tree, every word, every memory of his magical friend. One summer, many years later, Niko returned to his old village. Now a young man, he walked back into the forest, heart pounding. Would Luma still be there? As he passed the familiar stream, he saw the great oak, taller and wiser than before. He ran to her and pressed his hand to her bark. "Hello again, Luma," he whispered. A soft wind rustled through her leaves. Though she didn't speak as she once had, Niko felt her warmth, her presence, her quiet joy. "I kept my promise," he said with a smile. "I never forgot." And just like that, he knew their friendship had never truly ended. Niko stayed by her side for hours, telling stories of the city, the trees he had planted, and how much he missed her. He thanked her for teaching him how to listen, not just with his ears, but with his heart. As the sun set and the forest turned golden, Niko promised to bring his own children there one day, to meet the tree that talked and taught him the meaning of true friendship. Luma didn't need to say a word. Niko already knew. Some friends, the ones who truly matter, live in our hearts forever. And if we're lucky, they live in the trees too.